Hi everyone, I'm Nina from Husarion. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the setup and configuration of Panther. So we will connect it to Wi-Fi, run its ROS 2 driver, and go through some basic information on software configuration. If you're looking for complete basics of handling Panther, like turning it on and controlling it with a phone and with a gamepad, check out our previous unboxing video. And if you're ready to learn how to set Panther up and run its ROS 2 driver, let's get started. So at the very beginning, you need to turn Panther on and connect it to your local Wi-Fi network. So let's turn the battery switch, push the power button, and you should see the LED animations for booting. And remember to keep the emergency button locked all the time, as we don't want to drive Panther, we just want it to stay safely in place. And as Panther is booting, it's a good moment to open our written quick start guide. You can find link in the description. And let's go to the section connecting Panther to your Wi-Fi network, where we'll find some useful comments that we're gonna use in a moment. Once Panther is turned on, it will automatically set up a Wi-Fi access point. The network name will contain a serial number of Panther, so let's look for the right network. Our Panther's name is 81P2. And the default password is Husarion, but remember to change it later on to avoid security issues. Okay, and once we're connected to Panther Wi-Fi, we can now proceed to connecting Panther to your own local Wi-Fi network, so it has access to the internet. And Panther acts both at the same time as a Wi-Fi hotspot and client. So you won't lose connection to Panther even when it connects to your own local Wi-Fi network. So now let's copy this command. Let's open the terminal and paste it here. And we will now connect via SSH to the Panther's built-in computer. The password is again Husarion. We're now connected to Panther's built-in computer, and we can access the router configuration file. So let's put your Wi-Fi network name here. And a password. If you would like Panther to switch between different available networks, you can just copy the whole block, and Panther will try to connect to the provided networks in a given order. Also, a side note, by default, Panther uses 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi band. If you would like to use 5 GHz, you should change the value from 0 to 1 in this part of the file. And once you've done your changes, press Ctrl-O, enter Ctrl-X to save and exit the file, and apply the new settings with this command. And note that as the rootx updates the settings, it may reset router's radio, so you may have to connect to Panther Wi-Fi once again. And success, we are now connected to Panther. Panther is connected to our own local Wi-Fi network, and we can proceed to updating ROS driver. If you're interested in accessing your Panther remotely from anywhere in the world, check out this part of our written quick start guide in order to learn how to set up a connection via Husarnet, a peer-to-peer virtual private network optimized for ROS. We will now proceed to accessing ROS packages and updating Docker image for Panther. All commands that we're gonna use from now on are compliant with ROS 2. If your Panther is still running on ROS 1, you can find the right commands in our written quick start guide. However, we recommend updating your Panther ROS driver to ROS 2. The link to the reinstallation guide is in the description. And Panther is equipped with a pre-installed ROS driver running within Docker, which starts automatically upon boot. So we can go straight ahead to accessing available ROS topics using this command. Here they all are. And you can also run ROS packages natively on the host operating system of your Panther's built-in computer. To do that, you should stop the containers and then clone and build ROS driver from the Panther ROS repository. It's open source and available on our GitHub. And Panther ROS packages are frequently updated to improve Panther performance and include new features. So you should always make sure that you're using the latest Docker image release. You can check it in this file. And here you have the Docker image release version that is running on your Panther. And you can also check the latest stable release on our Docker Hub. So under this link. And as you can see, there are both ROS 2 and ROS 1 releases available, so you can choose whichever you prefer. However, we recommend ROS 2 as ROS 1 is no longer being developed and it will receive only small fixes with no new features being added. So we can copy this latest stable ROS 2 tag and paste it in the file. And then save and exit the file. And we can apply the new settings and restart the Docker containers with this command. And we're done. We can now go on to the next section. Panther is equipped with two computers. The first one is built-in computer running ROS driver, which we were using so far. And the second one is the user computer, where users can run their own application-specific software. In this section, you will learn how to access user computer via SSH or over remote desktop. As an example use of user computer, I will deploy a visualization of data from Lidar in RViz. There are two options for integrating Panther with additional equipment like robotic arms or sensors. You can get Panther in one of the ready-made configuration packages with already integrated additional equipment, or you can use your own equipment integrated with Panther and access it from the user computer. The Lidar's Ethernet interface is already installed inside the robot in the user compartment. It's connected to the router and the other cable goes outside through the cover. So all you have to do is mount the rails with the Lidar on Panther and connect the cable. So first we need to turn Panther off and disassemble the rails. Now let's mount the rails with the Lidar on Panther with all 4 screws. And now fasten the nuts. And now let's connect the cable. And turn Panther on. And we are now ready to go back to the laptop and deploy the visualization. We will now proceed to deploying visualization of data from Lidar in RViz. So first, let's connect to the Panther user computer via SSH. Password is again Husarion. And now let's open the Panther demos repository. In this repository, you will find open source demos for deploying visualization of data from different sensors. We will use this one. So let's look for instructions. First, we have to clone this repo to the user computer of Panther. And now we will proceed to accessing remote desktop of Panther. In order for this step to work, you need to be in the same Husarion network as your Panther. So if you haven't completed this step yet, you should follow this link for instructions. I have already completed this step. I am in the same Husarion network as my Panther, so I can go straight to deploying remote desktop. Password is Husarion. And we can now open remote desktop in the browser. Password is Husarion. And now let's go back to the demo for the right command, and we should enter the right folder in our repo and start the demo. And in remote desktop, you should now see visualization of data from Lidar in RViz running on your user computer. That's it for today. If you're keen to learn a bit more about Panther's hardware features and see its internal design, make sure to subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for our next video. And if you have any questions, check out the Panther manual or simply visit our support community. Thanks for watching and see you next time.